I started playing Genshin Impact for about a year. I started last year in 2021, going forward into 2022, later in fall season, and Genshin had its second anniversary. With that totally said, yeah, is the game really good? And that leads us right into today's modern game view, Genshin Impact.
Welcome, the Gamer Man's Lounge. Awaken to play.
Genshin Impact is Hoyoverse's big, ambitious, open-world adventure action RPG mobile gacha game, that's a mouthful, that is available on iOS and Android. As a matter of fact, if the storage or specs or both is too much for your phone or tablet, there is the PlayStation version. There's the PlayStation 4 / PlayStation 4 Pro and the PlayStation 5 version. And there is the PC. That's right, PC. That's the popular go-to for Genshin. Now, in terms of big and ambitious, yes, you are dragged into the world of Teyvat, and it is beautifully designed from left and right. And not only that, the music is orchestrated amazingly. So, yeah, Genshin music is just so goddamn orchestrated, so amazingly. And not only that, if we're going to be talking about the world design of Genshin Impact, holy smokes, it is amazing. The scenery, the world design, whether you're kind of exploring, or actually, I'm going to go by order. You start at Mondstadt, then you go to Lie, then you go to Inazuma, then you go through Economia and the Chasm, and then you go to Sumeru. Hey, I remembered the order. But anyway, with that totally said, when you're kind of exploring these worlds from left to right, you see amazingly designed, cleverly designed puzzles, and just throughout the time, it is really big and ambitious. Everything is just amazing to look at. It's beautiful, especially the character designs. The character designs are amazing. And yeah, whether male character or female character, these designs are just so amazing, and not only that, they are just very, very amazing to also fawn over if you're a person who goes into Genshin Impact for the waifus, or the other way around, you just go into this game for the husbandos. Either way, you will be pleased with the character designs just as much as the world design. So I figured I'd get that level design thing out of the way, as well as the music, because the music is so beautiful to listen to. Genshin Impact's story begins when two siblings, you get to pick one to play as while you have to find the other. Alright, now out of the two siblings, you have the brother being Aether, and you have the sister being Lumine. Now, you pick one, and then you have to find the other one, because something ends up happening, and you have to travel through the world of Teyvat alongside a travel companion who happens to go by Paimon. Alright, now, both the Traveler and Paimon have to basically explore Teyvat from left to right in order to basically try to figure out what's happening into the world of Teyvat, and most importantly, try to pretty much hunt down the long-lost sibling. So, yeah, that's that in a nutshell. But, however, if we're going to be talking about a whole lot of storylines, it is pretty much fascinating to look into and read about. I mean, you are spending a lot of time reading while there's voice acting, yeah. You do get text boxes from left and right. But, however, the story is damn well fascinating, interesting, very detailed. And not only that, however, Genshin Impact is really good at doing character developments. Like, I have to admire the character development that was done for Ganyu, as well done for Shenhe, as well as done well for the Archons, whether Venti, Zhongli, the Raiden Shogun, alright, and of course there's Nahida, or Lesser Lord Kusanali. Okay, the character development is fantastic, but however, the storyline is really great. However, what I really want to get into, yeah, I know I'm saying however too much, sincerest of apologies. There's a big fat however into it. Yes, I said it again. When it comes to certain story contexts, they end up getting locked behind events. And event storylines become crucial to the main storyline, and if you miss out on it, the story that you're going to end up getting when you precede the main quest line, oh boy, or whatever character quest line is available to you that you can unlock and get a hold of, yeah, you're going to get hit with story stuff out of context. So that's a very big, serious situation in terms of storytelling that could happen for Genshin Impact. And having a certain key story stuff having locked behind events definitely may not be the good idea. Unless you're willing to definitely, even if you're willing to basically, actually as a matter of fact, even if you're willing to go watch the cutscenes on YouTube, that's still something that is absolutely concerning, to be honest with you. But, however, the storytelling is fantastic, and of course the character developments are fantastic, and everything seems to be done. But, however, if we're going to be talking about the English dub, the voice acting for the English dub is good. Alright, but, however, the writing for the English dub is so I end up going to the Japanese voices. But, with that totally said, dialogues is going very well, fantastic. Storytelling is fantastic, despite the situation where you might end up missing out on story stuff when it comes to the events. And, yeah, despite all that jazz music, the storyline is just great and fantastic and fascinating to basically touch into and read into. Characters end up with a vision. Yes, playable characters. Now, when characters end up with a vision, they end up, yeah, there are passives and actives, as well as for archers, there's the charged shot stuff that kicks in. However, at the end of the day, each character has a elemental skill and an elemental burst. The elemental skill is going to be like the signature mini skill, while the elemental burst is going to be the ult, the ultimate skill. Alright, so with that totally said, let's get right on going to the key impact when it comes to Genshin Impact. Now, each character has a different elemental selection. So, let's say Hu Tao and Yoimiya, they're both pyro characters, so they use fire-based attacks. And Raiden Shogun uses electro, and she uses electricity-related or lightning-based attacks. Now, Hydro, Mona, Kokomi, that's right, water-based, Dendro. Dendro is like, I think, like plant-based or wood-based or just, let's just say grass-based, kind of something like that. I think that's kind of my best ways of describing Dendro, but if we're going to be talking about Dendro, there's Kale, there's definitely, oh yeah, Tignari, there's that. And then for Geo, there's Zhongli, there's Yunjin, alright, Arataki Ito. They use, like, earth and rock-based attacks, and so forth. Unless, oh yeah, Cryo, ice-based attacks. Hopefully I covered all the elements in a nutshell. So, out of all the elements you do get Pyro, Electro, Hydro, Cryo, Geo, and Dendro. And yes, the core key gameplay is basically mixing elements for basically causing more damage. So in order to basically be able to cause more damage, this leads right into the key element of the gameplay, mixing elements together for a bigger result in damage output. And with that totally said, let's get right on going to how this works. You have up to 4 characters to pick simultaneously in a team. Now, in terms of team, you do have 4 separate team slots which you can switch to as a means as a loadout feature, which is great. I would love an extra one, that would be nice, but hey. But however, when it comes to the characters, you have to level up the characters and get a hold of the Ascension materials, as well as level up and talents. That's right, you have to level up talents. And when it comes to talent Ascension materials, oh, I'll get to that later, and artifacts, hunting down artifacts and leveling up artifacts. Alright. And of course, if you want to go and do EXP, you're not going to get much EXP for killing an enemy. Your main source of getting character EXP are going to be those EXP books. And, yeah. That one's going to be a real doozy to grind for, because this is where I got to talk about the resin system, which I will address later. So you pick up to 4 characters simultaneously, and you switch between using the character's elemental skill and elemental burst to cause mixed elemental reactions for maximum damage output. Now, there are exceptions. You have Eula, which Eula focuses mostly on basically normal damage. She is actually a normal damage DPS despite the cryo stuff, but if you want a strictly cryo damage character, Ganyu. Now, with that totally said, let me catch my breath for a bit, because it's a doozy to talk about. Now, the resin system. It is the stamina system for when you want to grind for artifacts, grind for character ascension materials through world bosses, talent ascension materials. Oh boy. And of course, okay, so I got, oh yes, EXP books and Mora, which is the game's solution for gold. So you're grinding for gold, EXP, and you're grinding for ascension materials, for talents, you're grinding artifacts, and of course you're grinding a lot of ascension materials for characters through world bosses. And here's the thing, they end up costing resin when you're doing a world boss, when you're doing a domain, when you're kind of doing a leyline challenge. And if you use up all your resin, you can spend Prima Gems, but not recommended, because, well, you use Prima Gems to roll that gacha. You know what I mean? That's right. But, however, if we are to basically, and I will definitely say basically, talk about the resin, it can pretty much recharge. So, if you use up all your resin, you better log back in tomorrow and you'll get your resin back. And you'll better continue on. Now, there's also weeklies and dailies that you have to worry about. There's the daily commissions. There's also the weekly bosses, bounties, and of course the errands you can run through bulletin boards that kind of show up in the each nation, being, okay, Mondstadt, Lie, Inazuma, Sumeru. I think you get it. So yeah, you have a limit of up to 3 bounties, you have a limit of up to 3 errands, and that totally said, there's also the weekly domain bosses that you end up unlocking, and that pretty much carries not only artifacts, but also talent ascension materials. That's right. Oh boy. And they each cost resin, by the way. So those domain bosses, yep. But, however, let me catch my breath for a minute there, and yeah, with that totally said, the gameplay is fantastic, the gameplay is solid, it's amazing, and I gotta say, fun gameplay throughout, the characters play fun, and when it comes to figure out what each character does, what each character's elemental skill or elemental burst, what each character's passives or charged shot skills for archers, this and that, and etc. It's fantastic, and mixing and matching elements to do this max damage output is fantastic and amazing, and definitely, but it comes with the big fat but, and that's right, oh boy, RNGesus. RNGesus has a gift for you. Yeah, your drops are going to be basically decided by RNG. So yes, the flower that gives you your EXP and gold, that's decided by RNG. The tree that gives you your artifacts, that's decided by RNG. Oh yes, your talent ascension materials. Oh yeah, yeah, I think you guess it. That's RNG. And of course, the flowers that you basically get when you defeat a world boss, also RNG. So with that totally said, be ready for the RNG, and when it comes to stats that your character needs in order to basically be able to utilize their thing about their elemental skills, or actually their skills in general. Holy crap, I almost forgot what I was about to say. But like I said, it's going to be a doozy to talk about. But so yeah, the RNG, if it's not the gacha, it's the RNG, and it's going to be a doozy. After regaining my breath, yes, the gameplay is solid and great, but however, there's the RNG, but then there's also some characters that really got done dirty, not only in character development through storylines, but there are some characters that are in dire need of a serious buff. As a matter of fact, Amber, that's one example. And the same thing can be totally said for Yaimiko, which is a character event limited banner character. 5-star. Yes, and 5-star being the max rare. Because, yeah, I don't know what happened, but maybe not rush out new characters every moment. Alright, yeah. But, however, now that we're on the idea of character event characters, oh yes, that's right, event characters. Now, those event characters that are going to be the 5-star, the featured banner, okay, you have the span of 2 weeks, approximately 2 weeks, to be luckily able to roll that character, and if you already rolled that character, roll a character's constellations, should you go and get the character again, alright? So, you have to be really lucky, alright? Even if you spent money, and if you're not lucky, and the time runs out, you're gonna have to wait until that character gets a rerun. But until then, you're totally SOL. Not a good way to go about it, and I think there needs to be a better way of approaching it. Alright, because this is too much. I know that you're doing the double banners, the double character event banners, but there's also the weapons banner. You get to pick a weapon of your choice. Ha ha ha! Oh yeah. And don't expect to get a pity on the weapons banner too. That's totally set. But you do get a pity system for the character event, and of course, the pity that you have built up for that character event wish, or neither one of those character event wish banners, can carry on over to the next one after the next one after the next one. So if you're basically almost meeting your requirements to your 100% guarantee pity, and of course the banner, the current character event wish banner, time runs out, the time expires, and then we just go forward to the next character event wish banners, you are still definitely one more 10 pull to your 100% guarantee character. So that's what I absolutely like about the pity system. The character event wish banner pities carry along with you, and that's damn well good, and I like that. Now there are other features, and there's another thing you have to worry about. Oh boy. Now other players have addressed this, and I could see where they're going through. Especially other YouTubers address this. Now if I were to basically pull Raiden Shogun on her debut banner when I started, that would require me to go through the storyline for Mondstadt Lie, then do the prologue quest that will take me into Inazuma. Then as I go into Inazuma, I start running in and start collecting Inazuma resources that's going to act as character ascension materials for Raiden Shogun. And until then, if the character ascension materials that I need for Raiden Shogun, if I can't access that until I clear the story and unlock my ability to go to Inazuma, boy oh boy, And then there's also the situation, like I said, when it comes to RNG, you're going to get way less and less when you're lower leveled, but as you increase your adventure rank, you increase the world level, and be careful, because when you increase your world level, the enemies will basically become stronger and catch up to you. Now, you do have a feature where you can just revert the world level and then revert the world level back to your current one that you got going so far. Alright, and that's definitely something. Now, each button that you hit on that world level reset has a 24-hour cooldown. So, if you want to go and catch up, and if you want to go and play catch up with your characters, it is what it is. Unless you have a fully maxed out team that is basically, okay, every character is at level 90. I got a damn good artifact. I got damn good artifact selections for each of my characters. I'm going to go out and do some grinding for other characters and get caught up. And it's rewarding when you kind of get everyone maxed out and when you're beginning to get caught up and you're able to do damage and you're able to easily survive level 90 enemies or level 80 enemies, and that's really great. Okay, so there's that stuff. And not only that, when it comes to the world level increase, the amount of loot that you're going to get increases too, whether domain, world boss, or leyline challenge. Alright, and of course your weeklies. Now there's also another thing that you want to keep in mind about, that is the battle pass, and the battle pass gets you plenty of rewards. Now you do get, now if you completely manage to level up to the maximum per each battle pass, which is level 50, yes, you're good, you're free to do whatever, but worry about that battle pass, worry about getting that level up to level 50, and you'll be able to reap all the rewards. And if you have $10 to spare, you could basically spend that $10 or $20 if you want to get jumped up by 10 levels. Alright. You also get a hold of premium rewards on the battle pass, which basically will give you, oh yes, talent materials, as well as a extra battle pass exclusive weapon. So that's something you're going to want to think about. And as you pull the gacha, you do get basically like, hey, you get reward points for basically pulling the gacha. If you pull a character, you're definitely going to get, or if you pull a duplicate character, you pull a duplicate character, you get a huge, big reward points, and what you get on your reward points, you can definitely spend on Paimon's Bargain. Now, there's also the character event banner fates, and of course there's the normal banner fates, which you can spend. Yes, there are two different fates. Alright, you have the intertwined fates, and then that's supposed to be the character event wish fates. Actually, as a matter of fact, you have, those are going to be those little weird orb-like things that are going to be rainbow colored. Alright, so you have the, let me go in and do some stuff. You can just go and spend the Prima Gems, or you could go into Paimon's Bargains and then spend the Prima Gems on two banner fates, one being the Acquaint Fates, which is the normal banner, but the one that you want to go for is the Intertwined Fates. That's right, the Intertwined Fates. Or you can just, because you're too lazy, you could just spend the Prima Gems required to basically do a 10 pull and you're good. Alright, if you're too lazy, with that totally said. But anyway, with that totally said, going forward, now that I got this gacha and RNG stuff out of the goddamn way, yeah, there's that situation that goes down with the character ascension materials. But if we're going to be talking about character ascension materials that you collect from around the game's world, good luck, because some of those resources that are required to, say, level up characters like Yoimiya or Kokomi or Eula, they can pretty much only respawn 3 days after collected, from what I have estimated. So, with that totally said, if there's a character that you're looking forward to and that banner's coming up, you better grind ahead. That's all I gotta say. And of course, there's also events, missions, everything, treasure chests, Oh yes, going through waypoints, statues of the seven, collecting the Oculus things, or the, like, say for example, Inazuma has Electro Oculi, okay, and Nemo Oculi for Mondstadt, Geo Oculi for Lie, and then there's there's Dendroculus for Sumeru. Hopefully I pronounced what they are right, but if you collect them from across the world, that's one example. There's plenty of opportunities, like achievements, yes, event missions, everything. You'll definitely are more likely, most of the time, you will get Prima Gem rewards, aplenty. So yeah, if you go ahead and just explore more, start collecting stuff, start clearing quests, start doing a whole lot of stuff from left to right, you will be rewarded. And oh yes, there's character event hangouts for the 4-star characters, but there are basically like unlockable character storyline missions which you can unlock for more stuff. I had to basically come in and charge my camera real quick. So basically, in a nutshell, hey, there's plenty of stuff you do, quests that show up later in the game. There's a bunch of events. There's also the stuff. Oh yes, and there's also unlockable character quests and unlockable character hangout quests for the 4-star characters, which you basically earn the keys to unlock them by completing your daily commission. So hey, there's a whole lot to grind for, but do be warned, as soon as you basically get everything cleared out, you're going to have to end up waiting for the next update and the next event to kick in if you want to continue getting your Prima Gems, or wait for your Spiral Abyss reset, oh yes, Spiral Abyss. Test your skills on the Spiral Abyss, and you will get rewarded greatly should you do well. Anyway, so let's get right on going. On to the verdict. Will you like this game? Now, I do recommend Genshin Impact. I highly recommend Genshin Impact. However, whether you're going to end up liking this game is entirely up to you. You could have a love-hate relationship with this game because of the RNG and gacha, but you could end up growing tired of this game because you cleared everything out, you kind of figured everything out in terms of puzzles, and you're at this, what everybody calls the end game. Alright. However, whether you're going to basically definitely continue to like this game is entirely going to be up to you and how your story in Genshin Impact goes. So with that totally said, I do recommend it. It is a great game. But however, whether you're going to like it is entirely up to you. But yes, Genshin Impact is still a great fun game to play on. And it's just great. Now, with that totally said, Genshin Impact is an amazing game with amazing characters and, of course, addicting gameplay. It is a fantastic thing, but despite its jazz music that comes with it and despite its shenanigans, it's still a great, enjoyable game. And it's a great game worth trying out. That totally said, that is all for our modern game view. Modern? I said it right. No, I said it right. Modern game view, and I will be looking forward to you in the next video. Peace out. This is a video product made by a fellow gamer man. We hope that you enjoy the content, and we also hope that you enjoyed the shenanigans. We'll be looking forward to you in the next video. Peace out. Heyo!